there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Wolters World. Today we're in Munich, Germany, and today we're going to talk about our 5 things that tourists love and maybe not love so much when they come here to Munich. And I'll be honest, it's hard to find things you're not going to like about Munich as a tourist because this place is amazing, from the beer gardens and the beer hall to the museums to the people. I mean, it's a fantastic place to visit, and that kind of explains your number one hate when you come here to Munich, and that is all of the tourists here. And not just all the tourists, but I would say if there's a place in Germany that has over-tourism, it's here in Munich. And I'll tell you, go when the glockenspiel goes off. You know, it doesn't go off every hour, just so you know. But go when the glockenspiel goes off, like at noon. It is completely packed with all the phones up, and you're trying to get through things. Or maybe you're looking to get dinner sometime. You're like, wait, all the restaurants are booked out? It's a Wednesday in December. What's going on? Look, tourism is every single day here, every single season here. This isn't a place where it's only the summer there's tourists or only the winter there's tourists. It is all day, every day, all year round. So do be aware of that. So if you're looking to come here, you might want to book accommodations early. If you can get pre-booked tickets to certain events, do that so you don't have to deal with the lines, because it can be a bit much. And I have seen tourists kind of lose it when it comes to other tourists when they're here. So to kind of avoid the over-tourism kind of thing, what I'd recommend if you're doing a Germany tour, have your Munich stop be during the week, like weekdays. It's a little bit better then. Like if you want to go to the Hofbrauhaus, and yes, it's super touristy, but it's so much fun, you'll get a better chance of getting a spot there, and there'll be a little bit more elbow room when you walk around the city. So do think of that. Now, the second thing you're not going to like when you come to Munich, and this is something that not just tourists don't like, but the locals as well, is just how expensive Munich is. I mean, honestly, as a traveler, as a tourist, this is definitely the most expensive city you're going to be going to on your German vacation, because you go to Berlin, there's all these deals. There's all these great places to go for hardly any money. You go to the Harz Mountains. It's completely cheap compared to here. Oh, I'm just going to go to Freiburg, the sunniest city in Germany. Yeah, fraction of the cost of coming here to Munich. And the thing is, it's not just for you and me as a tourist. Ask the locals that live here. They'll tell you living in Munich is expensive. I think it is actually the most expensive city to live in Germany. So whether it's accommodation, going out to eat, getting your souvenirs, your shopping, all kinds of stuff, yeah, you're going to spend a pretty penny when you do come here. And honestly, with those prices, even in the fund, the deposits are more here. So when you go into the beer garden to get your beer, you know, which you're going to want to do, whether you go to the Chinese Tower, the Chinese beer garden in English Garden, or just a normal beer garden around, the deposits are more. Like, I've been going around Germany here at Christmas time, and usually the deposit is like, 2 or 3 euros, maybe 4 at one place I saw, but 2 or 3 euros is kind of like the going rate for like the deposit on those Christmas mugs. But here in Munich, I was seeing 5 euros. I mean, so it's like all kinds of stuff. The price gets a little bit expensive when you are here. But let's be honest, folks, you're coming here to Munich because this is the quintessential German experience for a lot of travelers, a lot of people around the world. Their idea of Germany is Bavaria, is going to Munich. It's the beer halls, the beer gardens, the museums, the residence, the castles, all kinds of stuff around the city. That's what we're here for, and that's the first thing you're going to love. This is your kind of dream, stereotype, everything you've ever imagined for Germany from all of the cartoons and movies you've ever watched, you know, with the friendly Germans. Yeah, and you've got the beer halls and all that stuff. Like, you really feel like, oh my gosh, all those stereotypes, all those things I've dreamt Germany to be is here. Whether I'm going to the Italian Markt, I'm going to the market here, I'm going to Marienplatz and seeing the glockenspiel go off, if I'm going to the beer halls, I mean, it really is everything. Going to the Zugspitze and going to see going to hike in the mountains, and going to Garmisch-Partenkirchen and go hiking there or skiing there. I mean, you're going around and seeing all these things. Neuschwanstein, you know that Disney light castle that inspired Disney? Yes, that's right by here. So it's one of those things you come here like, this is everything I imagined. I can get the lederhosen. And I actually saw a local wearing lederhosen. How strange. It wasn't just tourists that were doing it. I mean, you do have this, and this is one of the things you just love because you come here and Munich just makes you happy. I mean, that should be their slogan. Munich makes you happy, because when you come here, it really is all the fun things, whether it's the FKK culture or the free body culture in the English Garden when you're going by on your bike tour going, hey, are they naked? Yes, they are. But honestly, you can't beat it when you come here, because honestly, Munich, for a big city in Germany, definitely the Bavarians are friendly people, but like I gotta give Munich their props. I mean, Munich, the people from here, they are really cool too. So they're gonna help you enjoy the city as well, even if you are a tourist, which is crazy. With all the tourists that do come here, they're still cool with them as well. So Yeah, that's the first thing I love. It's like all my German stereotype hopes and dreams came true when I came here. Another one of those important little Germanisms you're not going to like when you're here is paying to use the toilet. Like if you go to the train station, you go to the places, there might be a Toilettenfrau, a lady working at the toilet that you might have to give €1 or 50 cents to. So that is one thing I know tourists don't like when they come to Germany. And since you're coming here to Munich, have your coins, because with all those beer halls, you're going to be maybe visit the bathroom a bit more often. Now let's get back to some of the bad things you need to realize when you come here. And since there's so many tourists that come here and so many people visit, there's obviously a lot of tours that are here. And I think one of the things you might not like is if you choose the wrong tour for you. Because believe me, with all the tourists that are here, there's tours for every language, not every language, but most languages out there. But also for criteria, like what are you looking for? Do you want a tour that focuses on drinking beer? Do you want a tour that focuses on doing architecture? Do you want one that talks about architecture, but you're really doing beer? You need to do your research on the tours when you come here, because that's one thing I've seen from travelers. They get really upset with the tours here in Munich because it's not the right ones they're looking for. Oh, I went with my kids and it's more of a beer drinking kind of thing. Oh, I did a bike tour, but all we did was go and ride to the English Garden and drink beer there. I'm like, well, yes, you'll notice there's a lot of beer theme in the biking and the going around kind of stuff. But honestly, it is worth your time to invest your time in doing research into the different tours you can take from here, whether it's a day tour, whether it's a CD tour, and all kinds of things, to see what's really going to be right, because you can have an incredible experience. Because if you want a tour that just talks about the history of the Bavarian kings and gives you a walking tour within the residence kind of thing that goes with you, that can be great. Or if you want the history of beer in Bavaria tour, you can do that as well. But honestly, where I've seen the most tourists complain is really of getting the wrong tour, okay? So do be aware of that. And then I guess there's some other things I should say with my hate number 4 is some of the little Germanisms that you might need to know about before you come that you don't know about. Like when you get here, you'll notice the public transportation takes you everywhere. It is fantastic. The S-Bahn, U-Bahn, buses, trams, all those things, they're great. They go all over and you could just walk on. But the thing is some tourists don't realize you still have to buy a ticket. It's not free public transportation. It's open to freely walk in, but you have to pay. And they do have the checkers that come by. And if you got on without paying, they don't care if you're a tourist. They are going to fine you for not having your ticket on the train. So don't forget to do that. And of course, the German, hey, Sundays, there's no shopping. And, I talk about how great the shopping is here, but that's something you need to be aware of that, it's closed on Sunday. It might close early during the night, so there's not a lot of late night shopping. So what I would recommend is make your dinner reservations. Oh yeah, because of all the over-tourism, make sure you make dinner reservations, okay? Make those at 8 o'clock at night. So when all the stores close, then you have nothing else to do. Well, let's go out to eat. Let's go have a drink. Let's go do something. And that can help you out. Now, another thing that gets some tourists when you're here is the fact that cash is really important here. And I know a lot of people are like, I just want to use my phone to pay or my credit card. I don't want to carry cash. Well, in Munich, you still need to have cash. Germany, still cash is king. It's not as big of a king as it used to be. Maybe it's more of a Herzog now, like a duke or something. But it is still important. So you do need to have that. And that's one of those things that shock people. Like, wait, I have to have cash to use the toilet? Yeah, you're going to need a couple euros to go to the bathroom and public toilets kind of stuff. So that kind of thing really throws tourists off when they're here. Now, I know these kind of Germanisms are all over the country, but I think it's important to mention because so many tourists that their only German experience is here in Munich. So I want to be ready for those because honestly, the Bavarians, as friendly as they are, they can be pretty direct as well. So do be ready for that. If you might get, so why are you so fat, Mark? These kind of things out there, right? Oh, but honestly, though, the little Municisms and Germanisms that you really want to watch for that might, get you. Yeah, the bicyclist here. People will ride on ice and snow and be like, why don't you get out of the way? I'm like, you're riding a bike in the ice and snow. We can't move either. What are you doing? The bicyclists here, it's they're like, we own the city, and that can be a little annoying when you're walking around. And not just if you're walking in the bike lane. Make sure you're paying attention you're not in the bike lane. Because the bikers seem to think they own the city, and it just gets really, it can be dangerous sometimes, but it does get a little bit annoying. So that's why I kind of put in those bunch of little tiny annoyances, hates, for number 4 here. Now, another thing you're going to love about coming to Munich is just all of the museums and sites you have when you come here. I mean, there's incredible art collections here. I mean, you have the Alte Pinakothek, the Neue Pinakothek, the Pinakothek de Moderne. I mean, there's just fantastic art, but also history. The residents here, yeah, you can go see the Bavarian king's royal residence in the city. It's an entirely cool visit to do. Or you can go and see some of the amazing churches that are here. Yes, you can go to the Frauenkirche, the one with the onion dome you see all over the place, and go see the devil's footprint. Maybe it's real, maybe it's not, I don't know, but I'm not taking a chance. We have these beautiful churches you can go visit, and there's just so many sights to see. Other museums, there's a hunting museum you can go and see when you're here. If you're not sure, that's the one that has the wild boar in front of it. You can go there, but honestly, there's so many great museums. And if you're a science person like myself, I love science, I love space, I love aerospace, engineering and everything. Probably the best, space, engineering, science museum, technical museum in Europe is the Deutsches Museum, the German museum. It's actually down by the river. It is incredible to go and check out. That's something you're going to love. But they have smaller museums too. There's a Spielzeug museum, a toy museum you can go see in the Old Town Hall. It's just fantastic. You go around seeing, maybe you don't want to be in the center. You're tired of getting run over by all those tourists. Go out to the Nymphenburg Palace, the summer residence of the Bavarian kings, and you're like, oh my God, this is just gorgeous. What's with all the pink and salmon colored? It's just great. That's one of the things you really enjoy when you come here is just how many things you can see and do when you're here. And that's why, when I'll talk about later, making this a really good base to see other things, because there's literally something you can do every single day. And you know what? If you don't want to do museums with, paintings and artwork and all those Pinotek museums and the other art museums around town, of course, you can go to the art that is car design, and you can go to the BMW Welt or BMW World, a museum. So, Bayerische Motorwerken, Bavarian Motorworks is from here in Munich. And so you can go and see their museum and the Werkstatt kind of thing they have there. It's really kind of a cool thing to do, especially if you're a BMW fan or just a car fan in general. It's so cool. And the thing is, there's so many museums that are here that, I talked about how pricey it can be when you come here to Munich. And I know a lot of these museums, the prices can add up if you're going to multiple museums. But one of the things that's cool is they actually have reduced discount, ticket days for some of these museums, sometimes on Sundays or different days of the month. Look for those, because you can save some serious cash and get a really good bang for your buck when you're here on certain days. And it might mean you have a power tour of museums one day, but it could literally save you tens and tens of euros going and doing that versus going to all the museums individually. So all kinds of stuff. But honestly, there's so many great things to see. St. Peter's Church. I haven't gone into the churches that are here, some of the front in St. Peter's. There's just a really lot of great sights to see here, and it will fill up your time. And that's why you probably notice I've been putting up all these things saying other things to see when you're here, because honestly, there's always something to do in Munich, because there's events, there's concerts. Yes, you can go at the Allianz Arena and you can go watch Bayern Munich play and probably win if they're in the Bundesliga game. So, kind of a fun thing to do. Now, the third thing you're going to love about coming to Munich is the shopping. And when I say shopping, I mean all types of shopping. You have high-end shopping here when you're in Munich. You have low-end shopping when you're here in Munich. You have great vintage stores. You have little boutiques. You have bigger boutiques. You have all kinds of cool shopping. Oh, you want to get your souvenirs? This is a great place to get it. You want to get that cuckoo clock? Yeah, you can get that. You want to get the Trachtenware? The lederhosen stuff? You can get that here too. But honestly, if you're looking at shopping in Germany, it's Munich, Cologne, and Hamburg are the three best places to shop when you're here. Berlin's cool too. But honestly, shopping, you're going to love it when you do it here, because there's so many options. And what's cool is it's one of those times, if you're in one of the smaller shops, you get to meet some of those fun, cool Bavarians, all right? So stop by your shopping when you're here. How about the economy? Honestly, when it comes to shopping, you can get the most cheesy German gifts you ever wanted. You can find them here, okay? So for fun or cheesiness or serious stuff, other stores get nice things, but honestly, they got it all. Don't think it's just, the cheap souvenir stuff. They have good shopping. I'm telling you, there's some nice stuff here. So love number 4 when you come here to Munich is the beer. And I don't just mean the beer as in what you drink. I'm talking about the whole beer experience when you come here. When you're here in the summertime and you go to their beer gardens and you're sitting there having your pretzel and having your big old mosses, your big old beers there, just meeting the locals where everybody goes out. It's a fantastic experience when you're here. And you just love it, because that's when the locals really come out to have a good time. But also the beer halls. Yes, of course, there's the Hofbrauhaus. You can always go there. Yes, it's touristy, but you know what? It's a fun time. You see locals and tourists going there to get their big beers and the Oompa bands and all that kind of stuff. But I got to tell you, don't think that the Hofbrauhaus is the only beer hall. There's tons of beer halls you can go to. We actually go to the Augustiner Bierhalle quite often when we come here. The restaurant next with it has actually some good food too. So if you don't want to get the over-the-top crazy tourist when you are here with it, this could be a good option. But honestly, just enjoying going to the English garden, go to the Chinese, the Chinese beer garden, the Chinese Tower beer garden there, and just taking that in the summer times, or even in the neighborhoods around the city, there's always a beer garden around, or just sit down and grab one of the many beers, because there's the 6 major breweries that are here. There's plenty of craft breweries too, so you can have all kinds of different kinds of beer when you're here. So don't pass up that beer experience when you do go. And what's cool is you can have a good time at the beer hall even if you don't drink beer, all right? And it's the same thing with Oktoberfest. If you're an Oktoberfest with a beer kind of thing, you can go to the beer tents and have a good time there. But also there's rides, there's great foods, all kinds of fun stuff. So yeah, 4th thing you're definitely going to love is the whole beer experience when you're here in Munich. Now, the 5th thing you're not going to like when you come here to Munich is actually, I would call it your Bahnhof experience, your train station experience. I mean, it is utter chaos in the Munich train station, the Hauptbahnhof, the main station. They're rebuilding it, so you have a lot of construction, a lot of things going on there. But just the whole area around there really is not really a fun place to be. Like, take your train in and then go get out and go explore the city. I don't know if you really want to stay right by there. I mean, it's only maybe a 10, 15-minute walk to get to here from there. But honestly, just the whole thing, and then, the guys that are begging outside with the dogs occasionally, and trying to figure out getting from the S-Bahn to the U-Bahn to the trains, it can be a bit confusing. So if you do have to take a train when you're here, and I want to talk about love, so you will, just know, give yourself time and make sure you're looking around where you need to be, and don't plan to just stay a lot of time in the train station there, because honestly, that's one of the least good parts of this beautiful city. And the thing is, though, for the 5th love I have for you is all the fantastic day trips you can do, because honestly, Munich makes a fantastic base for Germany. That's why some people just come and stay here, and their entire vacation of 2 weeks is just staying in Munich and exploring places all around, because you have really great day trips. I mean, if you want to go to see the mountains and the Alps, you have Garmisch and Partenkirchen. You can go to the Zugspitze and see the mountains there. You want to go to other famous cities? Oh, Salzburg? Yeah, go to Salzburg, Austria. Hour and 45 minutes away. Innsbruck, Austria. Hour and 45 minutes away. You want to go see the concentration camp Dachau to see what the concentration camps were like? You can go there. It's a very moving experience. I recommend you go, but be ready, because it will move you to tears when you're there. But there's so many other things you can go to. Regensburg, Bamberg. I mean, there's so many fantastic... Nuremberg, just go see all the stuff there. I mean, there's just so... We have a video about the day trips of Munich that are just great, but honestly, it makes such a great base for you to explore so many more parts. Going to Oberammergau and seeing the buildings where they're painted, like the fairy tales are painted on the side of the building. I mean, you're going to love it. And that's what's so nice about Munich is the people are friendly. You want to be here, but you want to stay here more. And that's why so many tourists come here. But it really lets you explore more of Bavaria when you're down here. And Austria as well. So don't pass up that chance, because you're going to love it, that you can see so much when you're here. And it's not just the palaces and the churches, the museums and the food halls. No, it's the great cities and towns around here and nature you can see outside of Munich. So what are the 5 things that you love and hate about visiting Munich? Let us know in the comments below so we can help other travelers have a better time here in Munich. And I'll say, Auf Wiedersehen from here in Munich.